Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. It is that time of the year and Games Workshop announced 7 new battle forces for Warhammer 40k. So of course, as always, I would like to use this opportunity to share with all of you my first impressions and my opinion about these new boxes. But before we continue, I would like to repeat that this is just my opinion, so obviously I invite you to let me know in the comments what you think about these new boxes or if you have some favorite among them. Okay, enough of the introduction, let's start talking about the Emperor's Children. I consider this battle force as a very good battle force, as simple as that. I think that it's great. We have a Primarch, Fulgrim, and then we have Noise Marines, the most iconic unit of the Emperor's Children, plus 2 units of Flawless Blades. So, for me it's almost perfect. All these miniatures came out this same year. We have a nice variety there because the range of miniatures of the Emperor's Children is not that big. And I like a lot what I'm seeing here. I know that maybe some people will say something like, okay, but we also have 6 Flawless Blades on the Combat Patrol. Why not 2 units of Noise Marines, or maybe 1 of Noise Marines plus 1 of Tormentors or something like that, and then 1 of Flawless Blades. But then we also had the army set that came this year as well, and then we had there 2 units of Noise Marines plus a lot of Tormentors or Infractors. So I don't know, it will be difficult to make everyone happy, but I consider that this battle force by itself is great. If you want to start collecting Emperor's Children, here you have Fulgrim, that of course you want to get at some point. You have Noise Marines, the most iconic unit of the army, and we have Flawless Blades, new miniatures that also look great. So for me it's great, really good battle force. Let's continue with the leaks of Votann, and again, I consider this is a very good battle force. The vehicle plus the ground shakers next to it, they came out like 2 months ago. They are super brand new miniatures, and aside from that, we have a super cool character, we have 10 Berserkers, we have 3 Thunder King. It's like, this is a nice battle force with a nice variety of miniatures here, almost all of them super new as well, because the ones that are not brand new, they came out like super recently as well, because let's not forget that the Leaks of Votann is like a super recent addition to Warhammer 40k. This one also suits very well with the Combat Patrol, so if we combine both of them together, we have like a super nice foundation for a Leaks of Votann army. So again, I have to say that I consider this to be a very good battle force. Let's now go for the Tyranids. We have 5 big monsters instead of this new battle force, and I want to say that they look great. I mean, I like the theme of the battle force. 2 of them, they are push-fit miniatures, but they are super new sculpts from this current edition of Warhammer 40k. The 3 remaining, they are quite great because we can assemble them in different ways, and they are going to be different big monsters depending on the choices that we make while assembling those miniatures. So it's like a very nice battle force in terms of variety. Also, I know that there's going to be some Tyranid players that are going to look at this box and they are going to be like, okay, I could use another big monster of this and another big monster of that. So they're always welcome. Having them at a discounted price is great. I can say that for me, the not nicest part of this battle force is that we have 2 miniatures that are new for the current edition of Warhammer 40k, but they are push-fit miniatures, and the 3 remaining, the ones that we can assemble in different ways, they look cool still. They don't feel that old, but they are old kids. So yeah, it depends. I think that this one is a little bit more personal. Of course, we have very specific miniatures, so if we like them and we want to go for these big monsters of the Tyranids because we want to have them in our army, then it's going to be perfect. If I have to judge this battle force by the miniatures inside of this battle force, again, this is a great battle force for the Tyranids. Let's continue with the Tau, and again we have a combination of new miniatures and older miniatures. But again, the old miniatures don't feel that old or don't feel outdated because we have like very specific design for this army. So of course, even the older ones, they are going to still look not bad. So again, we have the Tau. I like a lot what I'm seeing here too. I like the theme of Battlesuits when talking about the Tau because it makes them look super cool. Basically here we have Commander Farsight, a super cool looking miniature, also super new. It came out during the end of the last edition of Warhammer 40k. And then we have Battlesuits. I know that there's a lot of people that like Tau specifically for the battlesuits, so here we have a lot of battlesuits. Awesome. I'm not an expert in Tau, but I like a lot what I see here, because what I like the most about the Tau are those battlesuits, because it's what makes them the most unique, of course. So here we have that. It is time for Chaos. Let's talk about that Chaos Space Marines Battle Force, and I want to start talking about the Lord Discordant, that character that we have there as a nice centerpiece of this Battle Force, because among all the characters in Warhammer 40k right now, I think that this is one of them that has like the best design. I like a lot what I'm seeing here. This is a super cool miniature. But also, I like a lot what's inside of this Battle Force. Maybe the Rhino, it's quite old, it's a very old kit and they are like everywhere, so not the most tempting part, but Havocs, Legionnaires, Venom Crawler, the Obliterators, I don't know, I think it's a very nice combination of miniatures and a very nice start for a Chaos Space Marine army. What can I say? I think that for someone that wants to start collecting Chaos Space Marines, this is a nice opportunity to start a nice army. Okay, we talked about 5 of them, now let's talk about the Empire, and we're going to start with the Krieg Battle Force. In my opinion, this Battle Force is perfect. I wouldn't change anything from this Battle Force. I think that it's simply perfect. From a personal point of view, I don't like cavalry in the Astra Militarum, so I'm happy that there's not a single horse or thing that looks like horse inside of this Battle Force. But aside from that, I think that the miniatures inside of this Battle Force, I mean like the variety or these specific units for Krieg, it's awesome. Because we have 2 artillery teams, each one of them by themselves, they are like small dioramas. It's fantastic. There's like a lot of things going on that base. It's a super nice miniature and we have 2 of them there. Aside from that, we have 20 troopers, we have the combat engineers, we have the command squad that looks great as well. I don't know, I look at this and it's like, okay, there's a lot of new miniatures, new good looking miniatures, and there's like a lot of them. Really, when I look at this, it's like, okay, this is perfect. If I didn't have so many unpainted miniatures, I will go for this, because I like a lot these specific miniatures. If one day I have to go to collect some Astra Militarum, I will go for these ones. So when I look at them, it's like, okay, this is perfect for me, but still I think that it's a very, very good Battle Force as well. And finally, let's talk about some Space Marines, and in this specific case we have the units that we can see here, but also they announced new heads for Space Marines that are inside of this Battle Force, but I don't want to talk about them because, yes, there's heads, but there's like a lot of heads without helmets. I think that we don't need that. And I don't like most of those heads without helmets because I think that they are very ugly, and I don't want to talk about that, to be honest. I don't want to talk about things that I don't like. However, I like a lot the units inside of this Battle Force because I love them, like really. I will get 2 of these Battle Forces if I could afford them. But yes, I like a lot of what I'm seeing here. The Hellblasters, great. I mean, they are not the newest Space Marines, but having 5 of them is always welcome. Then we have the Stergar Veterans. I love Stergar Veterans, one of the best Space Marine kits ever. Like really, I'm going to put an example, okay? To assemble 10 Cord Berserkers, we are using 3 small sprues. To assemble 5 Assault Intercessors, we need 2 small sprues. But the box of the Stengar Veterans, to assemble 5 miniatures, we have 3 sprues. So there's like a lot of customization options there, and I love that. But it's not only customization. The miniatures by themselves, they look awesome, they look great. The Stengar Veterans are fantastic. Then we have the Company Heroes. Awesome looking miniatures. They are a little bit more limiting. They are like, most of them quite monopose miniatures, but still they look awesome. They are great miniatures. And we have 2 Dreadnoughts there. We have the Battlesuits Dreadnought that is a push fit miniature, so there's not much that we can do with it to customize it. But then we have a Redemptor Dreadnought there. Again, not super new, but having all these Space Marines here is like a very nice combination of miniatures. It's like a perfect start for any Space Marine chapter that I could imagine. Like really, I like a lot the combination of miniatures here. But then we also have a nice lieutenant there in the middle. So basically here we have a captain plus a lieutenant, and perfect, right? The best thing about Space Marines Battle Forces is that there's so many collectors of Space Marines that it's quite easy to find someone that will be happy to get those miniatures. So usually there's nice variety of miniatures, or even when there's specific things, there's going to be people that will be like, okay, that's exactly what I wanted for my collection, or that's exactly what I wanted for my army or to play with. So it's quite easy. And in this specific year, I think that again we have a nice battle force for Space Marines. And to be honest, if I had to buy one of the battle forces that are here, I will go for this one, because as I said, I like everything inside of it, and that's the most important part. Let's not forget that the good thing about these battle forces is that it is cheaper to buy a battle force than buying each unit individually. So obviously the best thing about these battle forces is the discount, but always remember that to make the best use of that discount, we need to want every single miniature and unit inside of these boxes. Overall, I think that this year we have very good battle forces for Warhammer 40k. It's difficult for me to talk bad about them. I just want to judge them in terms of the miniatures inside of the box, and also the variety of the miniatures, or how good or new they are. I don't care about how they perform in game, because you know that the game is changing all the time. But when I look at these battle forces and the variety of miniatures that we have there and the type of miniatures, it's like it's difficult for me to complain, because these are very nice battle forces. And with all of that being said, that's it. Those are my first impressions and opinions about the new battle forces of this year. So again, as always, I would like to remind you that you can let me know in the comments what you think about them. Also, I would like to remind you that if you enjoy the content and you would like to support the channel, I invite you to check the link to Patreon in the description. And with all of that being said, this is it. This is the end of the video. These were my first impressions and my opinion about the new battle forces of this year. I think that they look quite great. I'm happy about them. I wish you luck if you want to try to get one of them. And if you get them, I'm sure that you will have a lot of fun with them. So with all of that being said, if you are still here, please consider giving me a like and subscribing. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.